In the heart of the city, where dreams come alive, BWatts on the mic with that fire in his eyes. From the court to the field, every game, every fight, he's the voice of the struggle under stadium lights. He's seen the highs and the lows, the wins and the pain, every triumph and tear, every loss in the rain. But through it all, he stands tall, never backs down, with a heart full of love for this sports-loving town. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Every story, every glory, every promise we keep. From the love of the game to the struggles we face, he's the voice of the people in the sacred space. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. There's a love in the air for the game and the grind, for the players who hustle, leaving it all behind. Through the sweat and the tears, the blood and the fight, BWatts tells the stories under the bright lights. In the silence of the night, when the crowd fades.
After we get finished with this work, I just want you to know we're on the way. Not to compete, but to win. Not to show up, but to show out. Not to be among the rest, but to be the absolute best. We're coming to work. We're not coming to play. We're coming to kill, not to kick it. Baby, I got to believe that we're coming. You got to feel that the energy inside of you that we're coming, don't you? You got to feel it that we're going to be there. You got to feel it when you get in that stadium. You better get in there early, because time to kickoff consumes. Baby, we're coming. Do you understand it? Do you feel that? Do you understand the intensity, the excitement, the adrenaline, the rush that I got right now, that I can't wait till this thing kicks off, because we are coming. Boulder, Colorado, you have no idea what you blessed me with, the opportunity that you've given me, and I feel like I owe you. So every day I'm going to work for you. I'm going to strain for you. I'm going to develop for you. I'm going to commit for you. I'm going to do the things that others wouldn't do. Baby, we're coming. So anybody ask you,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sports Talk with BWatts on a Sunday night. Me and my co-host, Coach Dre. I want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight. We got a good show lined up for you tonight. Supposed to have a special guest later on tonight. That's Scotty Tate of All Script TV. And also, I got my other dear brother going to join us also. That's Uncle Steve. So at this time, y'all do me a favor. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the videos, and hit the bell notification. It'll let you know whenever I go live or drop a video during my broadcast. All right? All right. So let's bring up the fellas, and let's get this show on the road. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
What's happening? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, good people. Good evening.
All right. Want to say hello to everybody in the chat. Who all we got in here before we get started? Let me see. Might not get to all of y'all names, but I get to a few of y'all. William Hopkins, what's going on? How you doing? Appreciate you tonight. Raina, what's going on? Jeanette Fox, how you doing? You doing okay? All right. Miss Phyllis, how are you? Appreciate you tonight. Appreciate y'all tonight. You're watching Sports Talk with BWatts along with Coach Drake. And we got Uncle Steve with us tonight also. Want to say hello to Miss Patricia McGee, Miss V. Appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. Appreciate you. My dog, our Jizzle is in the building. TM, how you doing? You all right? RC, appreciate you. Trying to get many of y'all as I can, okay? FD, what's going on? You all right? Yeah, I brought old Uncle Steve in here tonight. All right. Tonight, we're going to take a deep dive in Coach Prime and Colorado football team. The rebuild at CU by Coach Prime. What's up, Tim? Reverend Nels, how y'all doing? Alan, what's going on? Appreciate y'all for joining in tonight. We really do. Appreciate y'all. We really do. I think I told all script 8:30. I think I did. That might what he be waiting on. So if he don't come on, we still can go. Miss E. Willer, how you doing? Try not to miss everybody. Try not to miss everybody. Who we got here? Let's go. What's up? Appreciate you. All right. Let's get this show on the road. All right. Promise we won't hold y'all long tonight. All right, fellas, let's take a deep dive in. Coach Prime rebuild at CU. We know Coach Prime took over, won in 11 team. His first season, he went 4-8. And then his past season, he went 9-3. And he lost the bowl game. Past all that. What I want to concentrate on, starting off, I want to look at two most important things that Coach Prime did rebuilding Colorado football team, football program. The two things I want to concentrate on, I want y'all input on is the coordinators. Remember the two coordinators that we left from and the two coordinators that we got right now. That's the offensive coordinator, Pat Sherman, and the defensive coordinator, Robert Livingston. I think it's very important to have two coordinators that you trust and that you want to help rebuild Colorado football team. Now I start with you, Steve, then we'll go to Coach Dre. When you look at just the offensive coordinator, Pat Sherman, I know he have helped Coach Prime rebuild Colorado football team. In spite of what other people might say, I think Pat Sherman is one of the keys to Coach Prime rebuilding this football team. Talk to me.
What you have to realize is this one here, BWatts, when it comes to old Pat, I had mixed feelings when it came to old Pat. And then I had to go back and I had to go look at, it's two things that I went and looked at. I went and looked at that game against Utah when Staub started, and then I watched the UCF game because it told me a lot about Pat. It told me when things got tough and things got challenging, Pat can dial it up. Because if y'all, I understand we go and look at the other games, but if you go back and look at those two games where he had to make changes, because people, for that UCF game, it was some stress on CU because people were doubting some things and people were complaining about, hey, we're a little inconsistent at times. We're not moving the ball. Pat dialed it up. He had a game plan in those two games in which I was saying, hey, it reminded me that he can really dial up plays. The next thing I'm going to give you is this one here that gave me confidence about Pat is this one here. The quarterbacks that are coming to see you, the quarterbacks that are taking visits to see you now. You can say whatever you want to. If those quarterbacks didn't have faith in what Shermer was doing, they wouldn't come. I don't care what coach you have here. Those quarterbacks got to believe that he can take you and develop you and take you to the next level. Juju and your boy Salt just ain't coming because they say, oh, I love to play for Coach Prime. That's beautiful. They do, and they want to play for Coach Prime. But they want to play for Coach Prime because Coach Prime got coaches in positions to get them to where they need to go because that's who they're going to be spending all their time with. So when it comes to old Pat, my confidence then went up because now I see when it comes to him, he got the keys to the castle. And when you gave him keys to the castle, I truly believe now when it comes to Pat, Pat understands. You can't say nothing about two. It's all on you. If things don't go well, people know who gonna get the blunt of it, and it's gonna be Pat. So I got confidence. Pat knows he has to do some things different. He gonna dial it up, and I'll get to Mr. Livingston. Mr. Livingston has been a true treasure. That man coming in here, but let me say, preface it on this one here. Coach Livingston got some. He done had some talent. Let me go with the people that he got. Mathis. Mathis make your life a whole lot easier because Mathis got them boys at NFL level. I ain't talking about what Coach Livingston. I'm talking about Coach Mathis. Coach Mathis coached them DBs, so he's the one gonna get the credit to take them to the NFL. So that's first. Then I'm gonna go defensive line, Sapp and D. Lou. And Dancy. Let me go with Dancy because you can say whatever you want to. Oh, okay. Yes, sir. You want to do pick? Stop it, sir.
I just want to talk about the offensive coordinator.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, but getting back to the offensive coordinator, like you said, those are the things I look at with the offensive coordinator. They got some great hires to go in that with the offensive coordinator. That's going to make him even better. So my confidence with Pat Schumer has skyrocketed, and I really think that him and K Salt, along with Juju, and what I like is this one here. You're going to see two different game plans for both quarterbacks. They're not going to use the same game plan for both of them because if you're smart, you're going to use most of that Liberty stuff with K-Salt, and then with Juju, you're going to switch it up and use the stuff that you would use with Staub accordingly to that Utah game. So that's the way I see it. But back to you, and this is for Coach Dre. He's getting ready to take us to town right now. Take us to church, Coach.
I mean, this is what y'all got to think about. So Deion gets the job, and the guys he wanted to hire as offensive coordinator first, it was the guy from
Dillingham.
FAMU. He wanted to hire Willingham. He wanted to hire Willingham first, but Willingham got offered a head coaching job. Okay, Willingham takes that. Then Willie Simmons from FAMU. Hey, bro, you want to come? You know, we can make this a HBCU thing, and you come be my offensive coordinator. Willie wanted to win. He knew he wanted to be a head coach, and to be a head coach, you had to win. So you go out and you hire Lewis. When you hired Lewis, it was months before you hired Pat Shermer. Now, if anybody listens to Coach Prime, he tells you, I realize that I'm better working with pros. I had to learn that the hard way. Sean Lewis was aspiring to be a great head coach. So you come in, I don't know exactly what happened, but you give Pat Sherman given the keys midweek of one game. That was none of his offense you saw in the middle of that first season. He just was going along with what had been put in, and you saw that's what let you know he was a good offensive coordinator. When I can take somebody else's plays and make them work for me. You round it up to this year. Again, y'all saw a great guy calling great plays. And again, if y'all go back and y'all watch, I think it's been on Twitter lately. You see Peyton Manning and his center getting into it. Because his center is saying, hey, man, the coach calling run plays, running the ball, man, you just block. Whatever I call, you just block. Listen, when you have a guy of Shedeur Sanders' talent, you don't question when he's changing plays. That's just what we're doing when you have the likes of what we had outside and nobody who was really proven in the backfield. Pat Shermer has shown you that he can work with any kind of situations, and that's what you want. But the biggest thing is he's there because he loves Deion Sanders. He could have went back to the NFL that first year. They were calling for him to come be a quarterback coach, to come help be an assistant head coach, make more money. But he decided to come here, and that's going to be my resonating theme through the night is the guys that are in place now are guys that are using their gifts to benefit someone else. I'll say that again. My theme tonight will show you is guys using their gifts to benefit someone else. And that's all Pat Shermer's doing. He's using his gifts to benefit Deion Sanders at the University of Colorado.
Hey, that's a good point, man. That's a good point by both of y'all. I like that. I think Pat Sherman finna show everybody what he made of this year, as far as that offensive coordinator, along with some more help that's along the way, and what we're gonna talk about in a couple more blocks. But now let's switch over once again. Another coach, another coordinator, the defensive coordinator, Robert Livingston. I think Robert Livingston is helping Coach Prime rebuild Colorado football program to its highest level. Going into his second year, his first year he did good. I believe this second year, Uncle Steve, Robert Livingston gonna do better.
It's no beliefs there. Those are facts you're saying. I'm not even going on beliefs because you can hear what the man said. The man said that he went and he did a self-evaluation of season 1, and he realized there's some things that it's some money he left on the floor. He didn't say the players left on the floor. It's some money he left on the floor when he was in man-to-man, and he should have went to zone. When he should have went in there and they blitzed a few more times. When they should have had him assignment and alignment pertaining to down and distance. When it pertains to a 3rd and 8, too many teams got too many big plays on them on those 3rd downs where they should have been off the field. And then it goes with discipline too. Some of the things that when it pertains to jumping off sides and stuff like that he sees that he needs to clean up. So he learned a lot. But let's go this way. Everything is reciprocal, because it's not just like he's helping Coach Prime. But Coach Prime has helped Coach Livingston because he gave him an opportunity. What you got to realize, this man was with the Cincinnati Bengals for 10 or 11 years. And he was with that organization. And the beautiful thing, he did an outstanding job, because when you have 3 new coaches come in and you maintain your job with all 3 of them, that lets you know the respect that they have for him within that organization. So that's the first thing. But it also lets you know they didn't promote him up to defensive coach, defensive coordinator. They didn't do that. It was Coach Prime who gave him that opportunity. Now the lights are on, and when the lights are on and everybody get to see him, it's a different showdown. Now it's like, oh, we see it now. Now everybody sees it. So let's start there first. I like the fact that he's handling his business, helping Coach Prime, but it took Coach Prime to help him first to get him to where he's at right now. So let's get that straight first. Now going to Coach Rob. Coach Rob is one of those coaches that every player loves playing for. And you say, why? Because it's not about him. It's not about his scheme. When you had Kelly's an outstanding coach. Kelly is an outstanding coach, but it takes you 2 to 3 years for his defense, because you have to learn it. You have to get comfortable with it. You have to get the right players to get in that defense in order to be effective. You just can't come there and be like, oh, we got it. It don't work like that. But with Coach Livingston's defense, he looks at the talent that you have in that room, and then he works with the talent. And that's the beauty of a defensive coach. The next thing I like about Coach was this, the humility. Most coaches do not take jobs where they don't get to bring their own people in. Like Coach Dre, let me say that one more time. Most coaches do not take jobs because your butt is on the line and you're dealing with people that are not yours, that might not have your best interest. And it's hard for me to come and move my family all the way across the country and then realize that this dude right here might have a different agenda than what I'm saying, because I'm coming in here and look at this here. Let me say this for you. The relationship Coach Prime have with Sapp and D. Lou and the rest of and Livingston and Hart, those are personal relationships. So you're coming in as a defensive coordinator and you're like, well, am I going to be on eggshells? Because if I jump and say, Mathis, you ain't doing this, and this, how is Coach Prime going to take that? So look at the humility it took for that man to say, hey, With all of that, I'm still going to come in here. I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity. I'm going to look at the skill set and the talent of the defensive coordinator, the defensive assistants that I have, and utilize them to the top of their ability. That takes a lot because most coaches won't do that. Most coaches are going to come in there. This is my scheme. You're going to do it this like the military. You're going to do it this way. You're going to left, right. You're going to dress, right, dress, and we're going to do it this here way. And that wasn't the case. So what I will say with Coach Livingston is this one here. Coach Livingston is growing, and that's scary. Let me say that one more time. That's scary because he's getting better. And the better he gets, the better the defense is going to get. And the third thing I'm going to hit, and I'm going to leave it alone, his talent level then went up. When you bring better talent in the room, now I get to dial it up even more. Now I get to rush only 4 people to put pressure on the quarterback, and then I can bring that extra linebacker in there at times to blitz and go from there because I know those front 4 are going to hold it up and maintain that run, and I don't have to worry about getting dashed like that. So I'm going to leave it as there. I'm going to let Coach Dre do this grand slam and clean it up for me. It's to you, Coach Dre.
Again, when we talk about the defensive coordinator in the spot, my uncle hit a lot of things on the head. But again, Coach Prime, if you listen to him, he tell you it's about relationships. And when Deion hired Livingston, the masses said this was done. We had all these other candidates you could have hired. Why did you pick him? We had guys with experience. Why would you pick a no-name, no defensive coordinator experience? Why would you pick him? Because I trust and believe in the guys that I have the relationship with. So I call Coach Zimmer, and Coach Zimmer say, this guy is loyal. He checks all your boxes, Deion. I call Marvin Lewis. He checks all your boxes, Deion. I call the kid, the guy, Pac-Man Jones, who I consider my son, and he says he checks all the boxes. I walk in this door knowing that 2 of his best friends are on that defensive staff. Never once did I utter a word about bringing in a guy I wanted. I'll just come in here and I'll make do with what you got. See, where I'm from, when you go in the kitchen, sometimes you ain't got no money in your pocket. You got to make do with what's in the kitchen. And sometimes that be the best meal you can ever make. So what he did was, I'm going to sit back and see what fits my defense. Again, there's no knock to Coach Kelly. He's a national championship coach. But when you get to that level, my defense is proven. It works. So I'm going to do it this way. Livingston didn't have that idea. Hey, I'm going to come in and play to these young men's best suited points, and that's what we're going to run. And then we're going to make greater adjustments. And everything else will fall into place. Again, I tell y'all this all the time. This coaching staff shows these young men exactly what they're asking for, because if we do the little things, fellas, if we do the little things, the big things will fall into place, right? So do the little things. I don't cry, I don't complain about the staff. D. Lewis leaves, I get to bring in Pecco. Just so happened during the season last year, I get to bring in Hilo. If we just be patient, like I've been telling y'all for 3 years, if you just be patient and sit back and relax, everything will fall into place. Now we're in a place to where this young coach should have won assistant coach of the year this year. We're gonna blow it out the water this year. It shouldn't even be a contest on who's the best assistant coach in college football. But now you get better and you get better and you get better. And again, I'm going to use my gifts to be a blessing. When y'all thought, I told y'all when the NFL stuff came on, I know we're going to talk about it, but y'all thought this was about Deion money. It was never about Deion money. Deion could have signed this contract months ago probably. It was never about Deion Sanders' money. It's about, can I get this guy who I know the whole world wants to come coach? Can I get enough money so I can keep him at least one more year? Two, if we careful, but can I keep him one more year? I'm going to use my gifts to be my blessing. And all you see is he is in what Livingston did was he rewarded Coach Prime by staying and showing that he's been the same thing he showed Cincinnati. Just because I'm the hot man on campus, just because I'm the hot guy on the coaching circuit, I'm just not going anywhere. You're going to have to bring me more than just money. You will have to bring me more than just money, because what this man did for me, nobody else in the NFL or no one else in college football saw in me what Deion Sanders saw in me. So again, using my gifts to be a blessing. Go ahead, Watt.
All right. Hey, I got the two maestros, Uncle Steve and Coach Dre tonight. They on their game tonight. They tearing my outline up before I even get to it. So I got a super chat here from Lawrence. $10. Want to say thanks to Lawrence. I'm not gonna worry about the first half or we see it, but we're gonna discuss it later on. I don't want to interrupt the flow of the show, but we'll take the second part of his question. Coach Dre, do you think both OC and DC should be in the booth, or do you like them on the field? Go ahead, then, Coach Dre. Go ahead, Coach Dre.
It depends on how you feel. I've never been one to like the booth. Even when I was calling plays, I didn't like it. I want to be near the action, but you got to get somebody in the booth you trust. And so I think that Hilo was that guy that Livingston trusted last year. So I think we got to find a guy. This year, I think it will be Livingston. This year, I think on the offensive side, I think it either be Leftwich in the booth or Pat Shermer going to the booth and letting Livingston be down and letting Leftwich be on the field. So it just depends on how you feel. Some people like to see it from the ground level. Some people like to see it from up high with all the technology. So I'm not gonna never knock a coach for how they feel it should be done. Most NFL offensive defense coordinators, they're in the booth. Every now and then you will find one that's not in the booth. Most NFL coordinators, they're in the booth. Most college coordinators are on the field. So, but it's to each his own when it comes to the booth. It don't really make me no difference. As long as you got if you're not the one in the booth, you got somebody that you trust up there to make sure to know what you're looking for, to tell you what's going on, breaking down. Like when you look at Hilo, when they show those videos of Hilo coming in there at halftime and breaking that thing down by percentage and this, and this, you got to have a guy like that up there. So long as you got somebody up there like that, if you're not the guy up there, everything is good. But I never knock anybody for what they decide to do. I don't think it's, here nor there.
Hey, BWatts, on that one, if you don't mind, let me throw this in. I'm not changing anything on defense. Hilo is going to be up there in that booth. Whether he like it, Hilo going to be up in that booth because it works too well. You just can't have a guy up there who can see things the way Hilo sees them and be able to relate it to Coach Rod and switch it. I wouldn't switch that none whatsoever because the players feed off Coach Livingston down on that field. So I wouldn't change a thing on that. Let's switch the offense. Now I would change that. I want Schumer up there in that booth. And the reason I want him up in that booth because I want Schumer away from the players. As far as the players getting emotional, I see, nope. Schumer can see the game because that's what he's used to. He can see the game, let Leftwich be down on that field and listen to the players talking about, hey, no, Leftwich slow. Let me slow you down, young man. This is what we see up there in the booth. This is what we want you to run. I'm hearing what you're saying, but this is what we're going to run. And I think it'll run better that way because that way Schumer don't have to hear all of that because them quarterbacks going to be doing this. Well, I see. Nope. I need you a lot more listening and less talking. This is what I want you to do. And I think Leftwich could get a lot more of that because if you listen to Leftwich ain't for all that yakking. He is like, this is what we need to do, blah, blah, blah. Schumer is he's going to listen to him. He's going to let him say it. I think get Schumer away from that. And if you get him away from that and let him cook, up there in that booth and let Leftwich take all the bullets down on that field, I think you'll have a lot more success. Back to you, BWatts.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. I like that idea. I didn't think about that. I like that idea. Yeah. I forgot about Leftwich is on the staff right now. I like that, Steve. I like that. Y'all cooking tonight. Boy, I ain't asked for 2 questions. We done took up 30 minutes. Oh, boy, I got 2 talkers tonight. You watching Sports Talk with BWatts, along with the maestro, Coach Dre, and my dog, Uncle Steve. You can see Uncle Steve on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time also. All right? All right. Look at it. He in his feeling tonight. He got Junior, but he got to deal with Junior tonight also, too. Well, all right. We still want to take a dive inside Coach Prime rebuilding at Colorado football program. And we talked to coordinators who is helping Coach Prime rebuild the program. And also, when you look at the coaching staff, Coach Prime is on record, Coach Dre. Coach Prime is on record, Uncle Steve, in his last press conference saying, I learned my lesson. We had some great players, some good players, but now we got a great team. And what I learned, I need some good coaches go along with some good players. Well, we know already got Warren Sapp, George Hilo, George Higgins, Coach Hart, Marshall Falk, Byron Leftwich was just brought in. We got Garner White, we got Pecco, we got Coach Phillips, we got Coach Matthews, we got Coach Michael Pollard. This coaching staff is helping Coach Prime rebuild Colorado football program. Which one of these coaches that I just named do you expect to have and make a major impact in helping Coach Prime rebuild Colorado football program? Uncle Steve.
Well, let me answer it on this preface. I'm going to go Coach Mathis. And the reason I'm going to go Coach Mathis is because right now, the identity of this team is the defense. And to me, the talent level this is how I judge talent. I look at players and say, how many players are NFL talent? That's how I identify. If your team is going to win a national championship, to me, this is how I identify. How many NFL players you got on your team? That's the first thing, because you're not winning national championships if you don't have that kind of talent. That's the first thing. The second thing I'm going to say is this one here. When I identify them, I always want to know who are the ones that are going to carry the team. I go with the defensive backs, and I'm going to go with Coach Mathis there, because those young men there have the most experience. They are the ones that have the most production, and those are the ones that still have the most upside. They've been in the system a whole year. They got a lot of experience. They're coming where they get that talk now that quite a few of them are going to be NFL, possibly first-round picks, McKinney. And then Hodge, definitely go NFL talent right there, and you got Hood. So when you have that, and I ain't counting my boy, the genetic freak. I ain't counting him old Stoudemire. I ain't even putting him in there right now. But where I'm going is this way. I think because of that talent there and what it can do for the defensive line, in which the defensive line is going to do the same thing for them, I'm going to go with Coach Mathis, because to me, that is the identity of the Colorado Buffaloes. It's to you, Coach Dre.
That's a great one. But for me, I'm gonna go on the other side of the ball, and it's gonna be a collection of 3 guys, because this is what everybody wants to talk about. We got 3 great offensive line coaches, and there was a reason for that. But Marshall Falk, because every time you hear him talk, or you hear anybody talk about Marshall, they say he's one of the greatest minds that you've ever listened to. I was taken straight to the back when I heard them say that Marshall came in and say, hey, offensive line coach, hey, us in the running, our 2 rooms need to meet together, not separate, because we need to be on the same page. We need to be thinking the same thoughts. So Marshall Faulk with his mindset and what they're going to be able to do with this running game, because we know we're going to be able to throw the ball. I don't think nobody here believes that we're not going to be able to throw the ball. But the way you see the aggressiveness in these videos that you've been seeing from these offensive linemen, no disrespect to Phil Lohost, no disrespect to the O-line coach before him. They worked with what they had. But what I see now is a point of emphasis on the aggression, the technique, and us making sure that we can run the ball. And I see Marshall Faulk back there with the O-line coaches. They're talking. So that collective group of those three guys are what's going to make our football team better, because we'll all be on one mind, on one accord, running the football. Again, Marshall Faulk using his gifts to bless others. He if you listen to his press conference, he told you, I'm here to make them uncomfortable. I know all of them can do certain things well, but I'm going to make sure that they do those things, get better, but the things that they're not good at, I'm going to make sure that they can do them, because I'm going to make them uncomfortable. I'm going to make them uncomfortable so they can do the comfortable things. So those three guys are what's going to really make this, going to make a big difference out of that whole coaching staff. But hold on, BWatts, the one coach that makes this whole thing go is Swayze. Swayze makes this whole thing go. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. Okay.
Time out. Okay. Yo, DJ killing my show. Throw it away, BWatts. All right, I appreciate that. You're on point. You're on point. My next topic is the impact of the strength and conditioning coach. My dog, my boy, Andrew Swayze. Now, Andrew Swayze is a Florida boy. Coach Ray says, when you look at his impact, not just on this year's team, even last year's team, you see him out there training just the mayors. You see him out there training Shiloh for the 40. You see him out there doing everything he can to give players knowledge, Shiloh, how to run that 40. The impact of the hiring of the strength and conditioning coach, Andre Swayze, is to you to what?
Let me do this analogy right quick. Nick Cannon, he had a movie where he was a young high school kid. He was very smart. He was a nerd type thing. And Steve Harvey was his daddy in this show. And Nick Cannon, it was this young girl and everything, the cheerleader, and she was the most popular girl. And Nick Cannon wanted to go, to the prom with her. So the key was this here. Nick Cannon needed it. She changed Nick Cannon's swag. She gave him that confidence. She gave him that, she gave him that swag, a new look, a new attitude, and it changed everything. And then the perception changed in people's mind and his mind, where he started looking good and other girls were starting to talk to him. That's what Coach Swayze has done. It's the perception. It's the mentality. They think different now. They look different now. And that's that Swayze effect. Swayze came in there. They got a little swag in them now. They walking and they dragging their feet now. If you see dudes where they walking, they dragging their feet because they a player from the Himalayas, that type of thing. And it's a mentality. Football is a physical game, but it's more mental. And the mental aspect is, I'm tougher than you. Coach Dre got his football team, and you hear Coach Dre all the time talk about his boys. His boys got that dog in them. They believe when they in a fight, when you got bare knuckles and we're in a fight, you can hit me and you can blood in my lip and you can kick me, but you ain't got that in you. You ain't got that in you. They ain't got that kill in you. And his boys do. And that's what's going to get you over the top. Now those young men have the confidence and they have the results to go with it. You can have confidence, but now you see the speed that go along with it. Now you see the power that comes along with it. And now you hearing somebody telling you, you get to watch oh man, I'm looking at him. And you start seeing other players like Wiggins. You see Wiggins start popping. You see Swain that got David Swain that got bigger. You see Cash looking like he done got a little swollen. And the one that really is that that left guard, that boy done got big. That young man that got big who was beside the Express. The Express is just the Express. But the young man right there, and what he has done, he has changed the mentality of the Colorado Buffaloes. And they got that swag now. And it's to you, Coach Dre. It's a Florida thing, I guess.
I done told y'all, we different. We built different.
Yeah.
We walk different.
Oh man.
We talk different.
Oh man. Here go JR.
When we step in the building, everybody know we in the place. But
yeah, Steve. Yeah.
So when they understand, but here's the thing. This Blessedly Budget said some real stuff in her take. This wasn't just for this football team. This was for the guys that were getting ready for the NFL Combine. You heard Deion Sanders again say, I wish some of these boys would have came and worked like Shiloh did and worked with Swayze. That's what that was part of why he brought him here. Not only for my guys on my team, but I want my boys that's getting ready to leave because I know what the business is. We know the 40 don't really ain't got nothing to do with football, but it's a business. It's a business of football. That's all anybody talk about. What you doing in the 40. Don't care about your vertical, how big. What you did in the 40 is what it is. But Swayze, he comes from that old school, that down south Miami stuff. And that's that's what it is. If you go back, if you got time, go back and watch the U Part 2. Because that's when Swayze really got to the University of Miami. And you listen to Ed Reed and you listen to Santana Moss and you listen to them guys talk. They didn't even need the coaches to coach after being with Swayze. Hey, we ran our own football team this time because we knew what it was going to take. We just need y'all to put us in the right positions and do this, and this, but we going to police this thing. We going to make sure this thing is okay. Again, I have no problem with music in the weight room and this, that, and the other. But when you got a young football team and you losing so much leadership, you need to be able to hear each other talk. You need to be able to hear what everybody else, what your peers talking about and what they think about you. Because see, when the music on, I could be down there saying, man, that character ain't lifting no weights. He down. Now with this music on, I can hear you if you down there saying I ain't getting to it. So I need to step my game up. I need to go a little harder. You saw them guys walking, the receivers walking down there to the DB where the DBs was working at. Hey man, what y'all lifting? Oh yeah, man. Yeah, we lifting way more than that. And now you see the DBs. Hey, I gotta go put a little bit more on my bar because that's what it is. But bringing in a guy like Swayze, who has championship pedigree, who tells you I wasn't great in the NFL. I didn't do all that. I'm not Deion Sanders. I'm not Warren Sapp. I'm not Marshall Faulk. But I got 4 guys that flew me to Canton. I got 4 guys that flew me to Canton, Ohio, to watch them get inducted into the Hall of Fame and tell you that I'm part of the reason. I helped guys get a $100 million contract. So the only thing, like I say, the only thing that right now that I just wish my guy J5, even Webs, Tay, I wish they would have took advantage of that. I understand they went and got with the best wide receiver coach in the country. Route running, all of that stuff. Y'all seen him on the last 2 well-off videos. He a Florida guy. He a dog. But like you say, when it comes to the money, people looking for certain stuff out of J5 and LeJohntay, and I think Swayze would have got him there because guys are going to be surprised next Friday when Shiloh Sanders step out there and run the 40-yard dash.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be surprised because I've been trying to tell y'all what I've been saying. But you all right though. I wish all of them could have got with Swayze. Because Swayze, the Florida boy, the Florida native, he is putting that work in for Coach Dre. He make Florida, he make Coach Dre look good. Coach Brian, You making Coach Drake look good on Sports Talk
Hey,
with BWatts. Talking about them Florida
listen.
boy. I like Sway. I didn't know who he.
When your head coach and your defensive line coach, first ballot Hall of Famers, and they from Florida, I don't know what y'all expect. That's what we do. Okay.
All right. I can't knock you on that one, big dog. You got that on that one. I ain't nothing I can say to come back you on that one. I give you that one. Now, moving on from the coaches, right? Let's talk about Coach Prime contract extension. 5 years, $54 million. A lot of people are saying, Coach Prime is not going to get no $10 million a year. He ain't won nothing. He ain't did nothing for as football wise, right? Now, they blessed him. What does this contract say about Rick George and the Colorado football administration? And will this contract help Coach Prime recruit and build a dynasty and get some top-end recruits at Colorado?
Well, what it tells me is this one here. It's a group they had a song at one time, and it say ITCH better have my money, and I don't use those words. And they better have Coach Prime money, and they got him his money, and they got him his money because of this. He is worth every penny. Now let's say he is worth, they didn't pay him enough because I told you it was going to be 10 to 12 million. To go back and look at it, I say 10 to 12 million dollars because he has his copyrights pertaining to his name and image and everything, which the residuals from that is going to be going on for his grandkids and great grandkids and stuff like that for Coach Prime, all of the merchandise that you're going to have there. Let me put it to this one here about that contract. Coach Prime already a millionaire. So let people realize it's not the money, it's the principle. You pay people for what they're worth. That's just it. You pay people for what they're worth. If Coach Prime didn't bring in that kind of money, they wouldn't have paid him that kind of money. Let's say again, if Coach Prime didn't bring in that kind of money, they wouldn't pay him because what they told you. They stopped all the DEI hires. So if that's the case, they ain't hiring you for that. They ain't hiring you for a DEI. That's over with. So they hiring you on merit. They hiring you on what you bring to the table. And Coach Prime has done it. Something else I'll tell you that people don't look at, this money today is not going to be what money looks like tomorrow. Because right now it looks like a great deal. In 3 and 4 years, this is going to be a bad deal. It's going to be a bad deal because you're going to have coaches making $15, $16 million, getting up to $20 million because the price of business goes up each and every year because as more money pours into these universities, those coaches are going to get money for it because the market goes up. So for Coach Prime, it's great for this. Coach Prime got his assistants paid first. He took care of that first. The next thing he took care of, the NIL, because he had to make sure ain't no use to all us being here and y'all ain't got no money to pay these players. They got that taken care of. So when people tell me about money, I don't think they got a money issue because before Coach Prime signed them things, I can guarantee you all that's been taken care of. And the third thing, you pay the man. The man needs his money. If Coach Prime don't believe no welfare, you ain't giving him no welfare. You're paying him for what he's worth. And what I also like is this, BWatts. Let me tell you, Coach Prime making more than 10 million, and then 11 million and 12 million. You do know Coach Prime has some health challenges. I used to be a med tech. And let me tell you something. The medical attention Coach Prime is getting and those those grams and all those machines that they need to use to go there to diagnose and to get to look at him and those massages and all those things. Homeboy, if you think LeBron James pays about 3.5 to 5 million a year on his physical condition, on his health, Coach Prime is getting that. Let's say again, you got people like Warren Sapp and Mathis, them old football players. If you don't think that Colorado, which has the best medical care in the world, and you got those orthopedics and you got that physical training and all that, y'all just looking at the little things. Let me look at these things. This is money. The food that they have to eat and the medical care, that's millions of dollars. So you ain't adding that onto your contract. That's money there. So all I'm telling you is this one here. Coach Ryan got paid, but he got paid because of what he brings to that organization, what the money he brings in. They didn't pay him enough. But the good thing about Coach Prime is this one here. Coach Prime is one heck of a businessman. His copyrights to his name is worth way more than that $10 million. Because that $10 million, they pay you, they done with you when they pay you that. But the copyrights to your name, you get your great grandbabies get that money because it keeps on coming. It's like that government cheese. It keep on coming. As long as you go up there and apply for it, it keep on coming. So with that being said, I'm going to kick this to Coach Dre. Congrats, Coach Prime, is well deserved. And when you take people to that bargaining table, you make sure that they going to pay you what you worth. Back to you, Coach Dre.
Well, I told y'all about 2 months ago when everybody thought the world was coming to an end and, we can't find the money to pay him. That was never the case. The case always was, okay, I know what you're going to offer me. I need to make sure I can keep Livingston. I need to make sure I can pay I need to make sure I can pay my guys. But again, if y'all listen, Prime told y'all to relax months ago. He put out a whole tweet. He told y'all that faith and worry ain't friends. Faith and worry don't walk with one another. He was telling y'all what y'all worry about. Just let me sit down and work out everything, and everything will be fine. Rick George, you hear Coach Prime talk about they gonna build a statue in the mountains. Well, I give my guy Russ from Buff News Weekly. I'm gonna use his saying. We need one with Deion Sanders. Rick George gonna be out there, and the two Heisman Trophy winners, which is Rashawn Salam and Travis Hunter. Rick George deserves everything that he's getting.
Right.
Rick George is going to go down in history as the greatest athletic director in CU history because he made sure that he paid the guy that has did what he did for the University of Colorado. But we're not going to talk about what he did for the University of Colorado first. We're going to talk about what he did for the local economy in Boulder, Colorado. Everybody know Boulder, Colorado is a nice city. You got nice businesses. It's high price, right?
Yeah.
And it was people that were getting ready to lose businesses and go out of business because the football team isn't making the money that it's supposed to or bringing in the revenue. Again, Coach Prime is now the fourth high. Again, I'm not going to say underpaid because when you look at who's in front of him, I have no problem with who getting paid more than he getting paid. Kirby Smart, Dabo, and Ryan Day, who just won a national championship. Hey, Landon down there in Oregon, we getting more money than him. Like I say, he number 4. And like you say, that in 2 or 3 years, they'll come back again. But y'all gotta understand, ain't nobody talking about the almond money, the Nike money, the glasses money, the Raycon money. I ain't even really messing with Colorado paycheck if I don't want to. This just, hey, I know I deserve this. Everybody in the country know I deserve this. But again, just like in life, guys, you just got to be patient and wait on it. Sometimes you have to sit in it to get where you're trying to go. We so fast to try. Again, it goes back to what I told y'all at first. I'm going to use my gifts, which Deion's gift is, I know who I am. I know what I'm worth. But, hey, let me make sure that these guys get what they worth. Let me make sure that these guys get everything that they need. Like he said, like Uncle Steve said, nobody's talking about the food costs that went up. Nobody's talking about the medical care for these former players that don't have to go out and get the help, use the NFL health care probably, because they got the great health care right here at the University of Colorado. Not like you say, let alone the care of himself to make sure that he's upright and everything is good. The biggest thing, guys, was like y'all say, it wasn't that we didn't have the NIL money. It's just to make sure that not only can we take care of the big names, that we can take care of the Cash Clevelands. We can take care of the number 36. We can take care of the governor. We can take care of the other kicker. We can take care of those kids that you don't hear about. That we can make the money so we can help these kids that got kids. Don't nobody talk about what Deion doing for his players like that when you talk about money and making sure that these guys, when they leave my program, that they can be set up and be millionaires and, like you say, can have generational wealth, not just wealth for a few years and then we back to ground zero. You won't leave Colorado like that. And that's how you have to applaud him. Colorado did the best thing they could. Everybody can relax now. And now you're going to see all these 4 and 5, because, I'm telling y'all, I'm in the recruiting world. That's all kids was waiting on. That's all kids was waiting on. To hear that, to make sure that he was going to be sitting in Colorado when I signed my letter of intent, to make sure that they was going to make sure everything was cool. So now you're going to see more kids commit to Deion Sanders and the University of Colorado, because now we can compete with the Georgias, because we got the biggest coach. Because when I sit in front of you, y'all want to be seen every week. Your mama can't get to the games. Y'all from Florida, y'all from Georgia, they can't get up here every weekend. We're gonna be on national TV every week. Not once or twice. We're gonna be on national TV every week, every game we play. And that's what little kids are working on. So I'm so happy for him. Again, he deserves it. But he went about it the right way. I keep telling y'all, be a blessing and you will be blessed. Be a blessing and you will be blessed. Go ahead, BWatts.
BWatts, kick it for us.
Okay. I didn't know you through. Check this out. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
My bad. I was trying to contact what's called. Check this out. Let's move past that. Let's talk about Coach Prime, how he has changed the college football as far as getting other players that don't play another opportunity to go into coaching, like the Michael Vicks. Has Coach Prime changed the atmosphere to y'all in college football? And in what capacity?
Well, let's just say it this way. What Coach Prime has done is he has provided an opportunity for other coaches because of his success. What you have to realize is this one here. Every year, you're going to have 10 to 20 coaches getting fired from teams because they're not successful. You're going to see recycled coaches, and this is what I don't understand. You're going to recycle a coach who was fired and then fired again, and you're going to bring him on and be like, oh, he can dial it up. Man, let's move with something new. I'm one of those dudes. Let's give somebody else an opportunity. And what Coach Prime has done, he's provided those NFL players an opportunity to say, hey, they see them in a different light. They see that they can come in, that they are one heck of a recruiters. A lot of those guys coming in, these ADs see they can recruit. They can be the face of the your organization of that university. And they also see they bring money, especially if you go into regardless of where you're going. But if it's a HBCU first and then other ones, you definitely bringing in money because of their relationships with sponsors. But if it's with with where Coach Prime is at, you have this one here. Those guys always wanted to do this, but they didn't get the opportunity. That's all, because what they did was this one here. This is what we do. And this is us. Let's say this is us. Oh, you don't hardly ever see a great player who played as a good coach. That's stupid. Stop it, people. So how is it that a great player can't coach, but a player who ain't played and just was the water boy and just did videotapes can come up and be a great coach? Stop it. If you put great talent around any coach, they're going to win. As long as they have discipline, a concept, and a belief. If they have those things in line, they're gonna win because it takes the talent. I don't care who you are, you have to have talent. But with that being said, BWatts, I'll just put it this way. Those men needed an opportunity, and I'm gonna put it to you this way, BWatts. Those people who were in those leadership positions, they didn't really want to give those men that generational wealth that was being spread around. I hate to tell people, they were doing some DEI hiring is what I see. Because if you look at it, you got something that's 80% black, and this ain't a color thing. I'm just going on facts. Almost 78, 80% black, and then you turn around and they only are less than 5% when it comes to coaching. And don't look at the SEC, which everybody talking about how great they are. Y'all got all those stud athletes. But when I look at your coaches, can we name how many African-American coaches are in the SEC? Let me go even deeper than that. How many African-American coaches have ever coached for the University of Alabama? How many Heisman Trophy athletes that have played at the University of Alabama? You got more of those than you got coaches. So that just tells you something right there. But with that being said, I'll just say it's generational wealth. And if y'all don't believe it, look at the money. Because coaches decide who they bring in to work with them. So they're bringing in people to change their family's lifestyle and their wealth. And now Coach Brian has the opportunity for all the people coming back is generational wealth for them and the people they're bringing in. And it finally, you getting some equity in college football. And it's with you, Coach Dre. Sorry to be long-winded, but boy, it's a deep thing, man.
That is the truth though, and that's what people fail to realize. And what everybody better get ready for is what they doing over there, because they doing the same thing. They getting their guys ready because Deion done pushed this through the door. You understand me?
Right.
But he did this because of that. He was talking to these guys, and they were saying, "Hey, Deion, we want to be coaches," but every time I go meet with a coach, I don't know, I ain't got a spot, this, that, and the other. Institutions saying they not qualified. They got better candidates with better coaching experience. Well, now it ain't a problem. Why? Because Deion Sanders kicked the door in. He kicked because quiet is kept. They tried to keep him out. And once he got in, he knew the assignment. See, somebody got to have the assignment to be first. And most of the time, the person at first, he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. But we're not going to let Deion not get the recognition that he deserves. He did this because he had to ensure that this was going to happen. And now you hear these young black players that are leaving the game. They want to coach. You'll be surprised how many of them have youth football leagues now. And they're doing all kinds of things to get themselves prepared. But what they were doing was saying no. They were giving you all kinds of reasons for no. But now there is no. So now Norfolk State can say, hey, how can we compete? We got to hire Michael Vick. Delaware State says, hey, we're gonna go get Vick. We're gonna go get Deshaun Jackson. Then you hear that Mississippi Valley, they go hire another guy. And now again, when you are the guy that you let everybody, if y'all haven't realized, everybody comes to see Deion Sanders. Everybody that got ahead, and everybody when they talk, hey, I leaned on Prime. I talked to Prime. Prime gave me this. Prime gave me this. Prime gave me knowledge. I'm sending people their way. I'm sending kids their way. I am the reason that this is going on because no one else, everybody else was afraid. But now y'all done let us in the door, and now we finna do what we supposed to do. But us, let me take my glasses off so y'all can hear me. Us, we gotta support us. We can't. You'll give anything for anybody else. You rob. I tell people at Florida all the time, y'all are rob Peter to pay Paul. these other schools. But let's support these young men because they're going to need it, especially these young coaches in the HBCU who don't have the resources. But Vic will, because Vic is just like Deion. He had a shoe with Nike. Nike should be doing the same thing they did with Deion Sanders with Vic, because he had a shoe with them. They can get that money rolling. Because yes, I understand what y'all gonna tell me. Well, Coach Ray, they just using it as a stepping stone job. Look at what Deion did for Jackson State. Don't knock on what Jackson State was before Deion got there and when he left. But look at what he did for them when he left. These guys couldn't even practice at their school when it rained. They had to go to a local high school to practice. Now they can practice at their school. They have top-notch locker rooms, top-notch facilities. If Vic there 2 or 3 years and then he leaves to go somewhere else, I guarantee you Delaware State will be better than what he found it. Hey, you see Eddie George stepping up. He go from Tennessee State, now he at Bowling Green. Bowling Green is a stepping stone job to get into a Power 5 job. Hey, let me tell you something, Ryan Smith. Don't beat Michigan. Don't get it done. Don't believe that Ohio State, that he won't be on the top of the list for them guys, because you talking about one of the greatest guys that ever played at Ohio State. But what Deion did for black coaches is amazing. He should be applauded. He should be up there with the Eddie Robinsons of the world. Like Uncle Steve said, how many black coaches has the SEC had? 2. Sutherland and Kroon. And Kroon did such a great job at Mississippi State. I thought he should have got another job, but they didn't hire him. You understand me? So, and what I'm telling y'all is Jason Witten, Carson Palmer, Phillip Rivers. There's a couple of others. They are big-time high school football coaches in the high school realm. These guys are setting themselves up to be the next head coaches if we don't do what we're supposed to do and push our brothers. But Coach Prime needs to be applauded, and as long as I got breath in my body, he's going to always be applauded. Go ahead, BWatts.
Hey, I agree with you on that, Coach Ray. You did that on the nail. Now, when you look at the game between them and the spring game they tried to get up, why y'all think the NCAA didn't approve them to play Syracuse?
Because they're not going to give Coach Prime the credit of being the one who initiated it, what they want to do. And the NCAA ain't, when I say some no good rascals, when I say some, because it's what it should be about is this one here, promoting the game. If you're about promoting the game, this would have promoted the game better than anything else, because it's all about let's promote the game and let the game grow. And you want your product to be seen nationwide during the time where baseball's kicking off, during the time where basketball getting ready for the playoff and things like that. This is when you want your sports to be showing off. But it's all about politics. This is what happened. The SEC called up there, guaranteed. The SEC called up there. You have other ones called up there. Bob, if you think you're gonna let that boy come down here and take all this credit for this here, and we've been here all this time, we done said this already. We already had this in the plan. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna say it's for everybody. They moved the goalposts, baby. Because what they're going to do, they're going to do it next year. They're going to take all the credit for it. Well, we did this, the NCAA, we're looking at this here, and we're going to do these games, and we're going to have it where the SEC is going to get this money because they're on the ESPN, so they'll have all these spring games for them on ESPN and everything else, so you can split that money up. And you know, they're going to do it that way, because if it was anything about right, to get these schools and to get football to that next level, they would have let these kids play and go there, promote this here, and then promote college football. But I'll tell people, look at me, let me tell y'all, if y'all don't think you don't have good old boys, then ask yourself, why ain't none of y'all in the room when they in the room? When they making all the decisions, why y'all outside looking while they in them behind closed doors? When you start seeing us in those doors, then I'll say you don't have no good old boys. But I don't see any of y'all in them rooms. I see all y'all just talking. They making policy, and that's the problem. You got people in there that they're going to take care of themselves. They don't want this is just like HBCU at times. HBCU don't want people come in with new ideas because they got the good old boys in there, and it ain't no black or white thing because they do the same thing. They don't want to change things. They want the same old tradition. Oh, it's tradition. You can still have tradition and then make new traditions. It's about things change. And when things change, you got to change too. You got draws when the day is up, you got to change them. That's just the way it is. I hate to tell you. That's what you got. You got to change them. I want to smell them. Change them and quit being that way. And I'm going to you, Coach Dre, because when you get that in your mind, people with draws, dirty draws, just do something to me. I just shake it off. Boots on the ground. Back to you, Coach Dre.
I mean, what did y'all think? I told y'all this. I said when it first came out, I said, well, maybe it'll happen next year. They're not going to let Deion Sanders be first. Oh, Kirby. Hey, Kirby, come out and say that you've been trying get this for years. Boom. Y'all think this is a coincidence that the day that Coach Prime get his contract extension, a few hours later, here they come out and about denied? Oh, no, it wasn't. No, ain't no way. Yeah, we got to go. Hey, man, we got to knock this thing down. Y'all think, if y'all think that's a coincidence, I got some good land down here in the swamp where you can build you a house. Got some good land down here in the swamp where I can build you a house on. Now, I tell you, okay? That's not what it was. Again, Bill Belichick, and I think Bill Belichick is a great coach. This has nothing to do with Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick sat up at his press conference and said, hey, I'm going to have a general manager. Well, Deion Sanders had a general manager since he's been at Colorado. Hey, I'm going to have somebody in here doing this, and this. Nobody questioned him. Oh, I'm not really looking at the high school kids. I'm going to be looking at the portal. Deion said this when he was at Jackson State. Oh, coach, you can't build a team like that. You got to go get high school kids. You don't want no refurbished kids. Bill Belichick did all of that. But when Bill Belichick said it, it was okay. It was acceptable. So now next year, Kirby, after your game, after one of your games, make sure you say, hey, this spring we gonna play a spring game. We gonna play a spring game after this year we're gonna have a spring game and a couple of practices with somebody, and then it's gonna happen. But you couldn't let Deion Sanders and Fran Brown, because quiet is kept the SEC upset, because somebody in the SEC gonna have to hire Fran Brown. Somebody in the SEC gonna have to hire Fran Brown, and now there's no way we finna let these guys get up here and run us ragged. There's no way to be. He already the fourth highest paid coach. He already this. He already doing that. He finna start taking over recruiting. He's the most notable head football coach we got in college football. His team all on the TV. Again, I told y'all they tired of Colorado. So there was no way they was gonna give him this. Now they gave y'all great reasons for why. Oh, the kids ain't the people already done had spring practice, and it wasn't fair that everybody didn't get the opportunity to do this. Kids was gonna miss class and miss finals and all that rosy stuff to make it look good. What it really came down to was we wasn't finna let Deion Sanders be first. That's it.
Yeah,
But
we
won't cry over spilled milk. We're gonna still have a good pro day this week. Next week we gonna have a good spring game, and then we gonna be on TV for the draft. Again, that's a lot of Colorado in a month. Some people don't want to see y'all too. Some people tired of seeing us.
That's a good point. So, Steve, when you look at Shadua, what's the best scenario for him?
When I look at
his upcoming draft.
When I look at two, to me, the best scenario to me would be the New York Giants, because you got Russ right there. Russ gonna take all the bullets. He can take all the bullets. This just to me. Russ can take all those bullets that first year and go from there. If Dable don't do what he's supposed, Dable is a good offensive coach when it pertains to that. But if he don't win like he's supposed to, will get a new coach to come in there that should be offensive minded for him. The Giants is set up as an organization. they do a lot of things well as the New York Giants. They've been doing some. When you miss out at, let me put it to you this way: when you miss out at quarterback, you're not winning in the NFL. Now, you might, like the Pittsburgh Steelers, you might get to the point where their defense is so good that you'll be 500, you'll be 8-8 every year, and so far because your defense is so good, but you're not winning in the playoffs and stuff like that. So you have to hit on your quarterback. I just truly believe this is me. New York and 2, that's music to my ears because he's made for Broadway. You had Broadway Joe. When it comes to the Jets, you're gonna have 2, Broadway 2 right there, and he'd be perfect for it. So that's just me. But if he go to Cleveland, this is what I also see is this one here. It really don't make a difference what we see, BWatts. After he have his pro day and that young man throw that ball, it's going to be the same thing they did with Cam Ward. Whoa, did you see him spin that ball? Oh, man, and then you're going to have a team just like they did before. If the San Francisco Giants gave up 3 first-round picks for a quarterback that they ain't even pretty much in the league no more, that played 3 games, what you think they're going to do for a man that throws the ball 75% of the 75% accuracy in football without a good offensive line and running game? You just tell me. I don't know football, but I know if a man can throw the ball 75% of the time, it's gonna be on point. And I can put, and that's without blocking. Now, giving some blocking, woo, that's trouble. But I'm gonna throw it to you, Coach Dre, because your insight is gonna close the door like Teddy P, baby.
I know y'all don't want to hear this, and it hurt my feelings too a little bit, but I just don't see how the Cleveland Browns let him get by. Like, I just don't. Like, I understand you got Deshaun Watson, but I just don't see how. I just don't. If I'm at 2, unless you come in with a king's ransom, I'm talking about 2 or 3 first rounders and a football player with it, I'm not giving it up. I think they were in shambles when Myles Garrett said he wanted to be traded. And because he said, I want to win. And I think they listened to Shador, they looked at his track record, and they said, hey, this guy has changed everywhere he's been. Everywhere he's went, he's been a trendsetter. He's taken over the city. He's been the light of he been the man wherever he's been at. Hey, Myles, come here. We're going to give you your money. We're going to go out here and get Shador Sanders to be the quarterback. We'll see if we can get a few more pieces because you don't have to move nothing if you get Shador. You can use your money to go get receivers. Again, they don't have no permanent receivers. Hey, Shador, we'll draft you. We'll draft another one of your receivers. Might go get one of them in the free agent as an unrestricted free agent. But we're gonna build around Shador because they got a pretty good defense. It's just they offense keep them on the field so much so you don't know how good their defense is. So I just don't see how Cleveland, like you say, after Friday when he throw the ball, they say Cleveland gonna have everybody there: the head coach, the general manager, the owner, the scout, the ball boy, the water boy. They say they gonna have everybody there. So I just don't see how you don't get, and they thriving for another name in that city. You understand me? They had LeBron James for years, then LeBron left, and then LeBron came back. What would it do for Shador to win a suit to just take them to a AFC championship? So I think it's gonna be Cleveland. You know, I could be wrong, but I just think it's gonna be Cleveland.
Hey, Coach Dre, I think you're absolutely correct when it comes to it probably is going to be Cleveland because this is what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on Cleveland to put a lawsuit against Watson for failure to be wearing his boot so that they can get some of that money back. I'm just saying, if I see that happening, where they go and they say, hey, they doing something like that, it's a done deal. It's a done deal. The 2 gone. It's a done deal. He's going to Cleveland. But, yeah, I can definitely see that, Cleveland, because they can't turn him down. Because if they do, the coach gone. You got your best player saying he want to leave. You got to do something to keep him to stay. And what I saw with them, even with Jameis Winston against the Denver Broncos. Winston put up almost 500 yards against them, man. So they got a little offense. They can throw. If you can throw the ball, you can do some stuff. So with that being said, we'll see. But back to you, BWatts.
What about Travis Hunt?
Travis thing when they see Travis run, man. If Travis do that 40, and he do anything what they think he gonna do, that'll put Travis as the first pick in the draft, man. Travis might get up there if show first or second pick in the draft. First, second, or third is Travis Hunter. Period. So you just got to look at what he does when they see him run, and his thing will be off the chart when it pertains to him jumping, him doing all those other drills. Travis gonna show you some stuff. I think Travis is gonna show out. That's what I really see. And when you see a freak like that, it's a hard man. Once an owner fall in love with a player, it don't make a difference what the general manager say. I own the team. That's who I'm getting, and that's that's gonna be an end game. So it all goes. When Travis shows this week is gonna be special. I think we're gonna see some things this week from two and Travis and your boy Shiloh that might be a game changer. That's just me. I'm just going. I think they've been waiting. They've been waiting for it, and we're gonna see it. Back to you, Coach Dre.
Hey, as these people in Florida say, Duval, Duval, Duval. Hey, boy, that's all we talking about down here in Florida, baby. That's all we. Man, I'm going. But hey, them people down there in Jacksonville beating down the door. Them people. Hey, listen. Even though we got like they at 5, they trying to right now. They trying to maybe try to get up to 3 or 4. But hey, that's what they trying to do. But if you don't get up to 3 or 4, I don't think he falls to 5. We'll be lucky. But because the dude Abdul Carter, I still think people think because he injured, you're taking a high risk of you draft him up there. But I'm telling you right now, boy, we down here in Florida, we praying hard, boy. I'm talking about we praying hard for the next few, boy. I'm talking about we need him, boy. It ain't no if. Hey, down here we gonna let him play both ways, cause these boys down here ain't gonna play. They'll go up there to the owner and let him know, hey, we playing both ways. Ain't none of that going on in Florida. But it's gonna be Florida or New England. It's gonna be the Jaguars or New England. I think Mike Grable, he got that Patriot way, he got that Belichick type of way, and I ain't saying nothing wrong with it. I want Travis to be able to be Travis, and I just don't know if he'll be able to be Travis with Grable. So they got a good young coach here in Jacksonville that they just hired. I like the staff that the Jaguars put together. So I'm just hoping they pull the trigger and get on up there and get him. But it's gonna be between the Jaguars and the Patriots for me. But if he in Jacksonville, boy, we gonna go crazy. I ain't gonna tell nobody no lies.
All right, last question. We out of here. I'm gonna let y'all go. How many players you expect to hear their name called on draft day from Colorado?
I'm gonna say 4, possible 5 for me for draft day. That's what I see, and the reason I'm seeing it is because the draft is all about perception. And the perception is right now that the Big Ten and the SEC, those players are going to get more benefit of the doubt than the Big 12. That's just the way it is. You can look at it any way you want to. They're going to get more benefit of doubt. You're going to see teams like Michigan, Ohio State. They're going to run the gamut, man. When it comes to NFL, Alabama's, they're going to run the gamut. When you also look at it, you're going to be like, wow, how did all of those players get drafted? It's the perception is they're playing at a higher level, and they're those kind of players in Georgia. So I see 4, possible 5, but we could be surprised. But surprise me. But I'm going 4, possible 5. Coach Dre, it's on you.
I want to say 6. We know the first 2. I believe Tay gonna get drafted. I believe BJ gonna get drafted. for some reason, I just want to see what block bully. When Warren Sapp say there's not a better defense, you come bring me a better defensive tackle than block bully, nose tackle than block bully. Come bring him to me, show him to me, and I'll tell you the truth. Him, and then Jimmy. Hold on, I mean Shallow, and then like I say, then you go anywhere with Jimmy and Will, but them six guys, I just feel like you don't have enough. When you get to that 6 and 7 round, it's still you still got to make the team. You still got to make the team, right? So it's like you don't have all the scouts here. You don't have everything you want to see. So now it's about like y'all saw it with the kid from the Dallas Cowboys, the running back. His daddy was on the Dallas Cowboys. It was the 6th round. Hey, let's draft him. But the kid ended up making the team and being there and playing. But hey, so I just think when we get to the 6th and 7th round and we kick in the bobo with a few kids and we just talking about, hey, this kid, or we, because of some of these relationships, and you want relationships with certain coaches, I want a relationship with Deion Sanders if I'm an NFL coach, right? Because you got a son that could potentially be the face of our team. So hey, we in the 6th and 7th round, hey, I'm gonna pick your guy. I'm gonna pick your guy. You get what I'm saying? And then what Deion knows is if you pick my guys gonna be prepared. They've been prepared for NFL type practices, working NFL type schedules, and things of that nature. So I think 6, and like I say, I won't be surprised if it's 7, but for sure 6 for me on draft day. The first 2 will be that first night. That second 2 will be probably that second day, and then that third day we'll get the rest of them. So we should go 2-2, and then the rest of them that next day. And I think, like I say, we're going to be proud either way it go. If they don't get drafted, if they still get picked up, undrafted free agent, because at the end of the day, we still got to go in here and work. And if you were 6 and 7 rounder, you just like an undrafted free agent. So just because you got drafted in the 6th and 7th round don't mean you own the football team. The only guys that's guaranteed is them first 3 rounds pretty much. The first 3 round guys, they got them a slot on the team. But them other guys, you got to go out there and earn it. So after Friday, we're going to know a lot more because them boys going to be a lot comfortable. I expect us to run better times. You're going to be out there and we're going to be in control. Swayze and the Coach Prime, the QB, select QB and all them guys, they're going to be in control of that pro day. So it just won't be as tense. You'll have all your brothers around because everybody should have been back in Colorado today. They should have been back there since Saturday. But a lot of y'all, they've been back there since Friday. You see how quick Draylon got back there when them boys called. And that's the kind of, like, the relationship them boys got. Draylon didn't even have his hair done. He say, man, y'all called and told me to get back. I just got my clothes and jumped back on the plane and got back here. So you know it's serious when your brothers call and say they need you, you come on back. And that's the biggest thing I got from these guys right now. But 6, I got 6 right now.
All right, that's the end of the show, fellas. Appreciate y'all tonight and everybody who tuned in from the chat and who watching the live. Appreciate y'all tonight. All right, Steve. Then Coach Dre, last word.
My last words is this one here. It has been a pleasure. It's always nice coming in with Coach Dre, kicking it, fellowshipping, and with BWatts. All the people out there in podcast land, I'm going to tell you this one here. You are something special. If ain't nobody told you, I'm going to tell you this. God loves you and we love you too because you are something special because you could have been anywhere, but you here. And like Celie say, I'm here. I might be ugly, but I'm here. That's what I'm talking about, baby. It ain't nothing ugly on this side. It's a good-looking piece of meat right here. But with that being said, thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. Ain't nothing but love coming from here. And Coach Dre, BWatts, holla if you hear me.
First and foremost, like Uncle Steve say, it's always a blessing to get up here on a Sunday night and talk football and be positive. Like I say, you never know what somebody going through in their life. You never know the trials and the tribulations, and they come in here just to hear a good word. I'm just a nobody trying to bless somebody. I'm not trying to be a superstar. I'm not trying to be the first to know this and the first to know that. I'm just trying to be me. Uh, this is a great platform to do that. The brotherhood that we have bonded with on this show, other guys, uh, it's a great thing. Before I get out of here, I want to send a special prayer to my brother Rob, the man, and his family. Like I say, my brother, life is for bro right now. It really is. I know people asking questions where he is and this, that, and the third. He's still around, but right now life is for bro. He dealing with things with moms, and he just needs to be lifted up in prayer. So when you lay your head down tonight, make sure you pray for my brother. I appreciate all that he's done for BWatts, everything he's done for us as a group. We appreciate it. Giving us this platform to come up here every Sunday night and any other night that he asks us, he calls on us to come up and talk. We appreciate it. To everybody in the chat, to the CU aunties, to all the fellas that's in there, to all my especially all my day ones that's been rocking with me for the last 3 years. Ain't never changed up on me. Always been there. I appreciate y'all with everything that I got. You can't have a harvest unless you plant seeds. I'll say that again. You can't have a harvest unless you plant seeds. And as I always say, if I send no ships out, no ships will come in. And if there's no contest, nobody can win. Games can't be won if they haven't been played, and prayers can't be answered if they haven't been prayed. I am your man, Coach Drake. That is my brother BWatts. It is my only uncle, Uncle Steve. Hey, God bless you and good night. We'll see y'all next Sunday.